I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm recording my screen here because we have like two people who, like one's in the hospital and one's really sick. So we want to record this so make sure they can still participate in the class. My name is Tara Graves, and I'm one of your facilitators. There are four of us. So we have over here
Misha Miller, Tina Holland, Sarah Stewart.
So all four of us are facilitating this class, and this is what's called a blended class, meaning part of it's face-to-face and part of it's online. How many of you have taken an online class before? Okay, a lot of you. Okay, good. How many of you, this is obviously the rest of you, the first online class you'll have? Okay, all right. So we're going to just walk you through the different parts of the class and what to expect. And let's see who we have in the room real quickly. If you want to just tell us your name and what school and what you teach.
Colleen Morrow. I teach 7th through 12th grade social studies at Truckee Middle School.
Okay.
Alicia Dreeland, Resource, Esther Bennett.
Cindy Fritz, CLS, Spanish First High School. Julie Thomas, 4th grade, ELA and Social Studies at Agnes Reed.
Tony Dudas, Hackler, Vaughn, IB, Technology.
Scott Hudson, Booster High School, Business.
Mary Sugg, Palmer Elementary, assistant principal.
Sean Richardson, trainer in sociology.
Laura Coyne, Stead Elementary, DSL.
Lena Caffrey, high school, CTE. We have Pet Hill, Trainer Middle School, 6th grade math and science.
Molly Howell, Trainer Middle School, 7th grade life science.
Okay, we have a good mix. I'm glad to see an administrator here, Mary. Yay. All right, so let's go through and we will maybe go to the next slide. All right, so each month we'll start with a live webinar, and it's 1 hour on WebEx, and our first one will be next week on Tuesday, and we'll send out all the information you will need to get onto that webinar live. Now, it is preferable that you are on live, but if something comes up, which we know something always comes up when we have something planned, you can watch the recording at another time, okay? And then the face-to-face, typically we give you a week in between the webinar and the face-to-face, but next week, because we had some different scheduling issues, you're going to have the webinar on Tuesday and the face-to-face on Thursday. And that will be in this room again for the face-to-face. And then after our face-to-face, you'll have some online assignments to do at roughly about 5 hours for the rest of the month. So in between the face-to-face and the next webinar, you'll have about 5 hours of online work. So our webinars, each month we'll cover 2 of the 6 dimensions of 21st century learning environment. So this month we're focusing on skilled communication and collaboration. And you don't need to write all this down. We'll give you a link to this slideshow so you'll have it all ready. So feel free to just listen, and not try to frantically write it down. So the webinar will be Tuesday again from 4 to 5. And then the face-to-face, these are all our face-to-faces. Actually, there's one more that we'll talk about, but these are the face-to-face for each month. And while we're together, starting next week, for next week, we're going to go in depth with those 6 dimensions. So for each month, it will just be the 2. We'll do a sorting activity, and then we'll just have a discussion based on that. And then we're going to give you a preview, which we call a shred session, which will give you probably like 3 minutes that each of us will show you the different workshops that you have to choose from for that online work. And we'll show you all of that, so don't worry if you're a little confused. Your online work is in Canvas, and you'll have a demo of that. That's our learning management system. You might be familiar with Moodle or Blackboard. Maybe you've seen those learning management systems before. We've used a Google site before running online classes, so it's just a place where the course lives that you can access. We have the first one will go from the 18th to October 2nd, so you'll have to make sure that your work is complete for the first one by October 2nd. And then each of these weeks are the rest of the time for the online piece. So what does the online work look like? You'll have your choice from, I believe it's roughly eight webinars that you will watch. We call them interactive webinars. And you'll watch it at your own time when you want to watch it, complete the different interactions that you'll see, and we can demo this for you tonight as well. And then exploration of resources, and then applying it in your classroom or your work situation, those of you that are not in a classroom. So we're asking you to do something with what you've learned, and then provide an artifact of that learning. So whether it's a lesson plan or a product that you create with one of the tools, this will all make sense to you when we get a little more in depth. You also have a discussion forum in Canvas, so that's where you all are sharing what you're learning with each other, responding to an initial prompt, and then replying to each other's initial response. And then you'll have a portfolio as well, and we'll get to that. Go. All right, so throughout the whole class, we're going to be asking you to start collecting artifacts of your learning. And Tina and Misha are going to talk to you about the portfolio. But our culminating meeting, our very last face-to-face, is December 16th. And that's where you will share whatever part of your portfolio you want to share in a short presentation to the group. And that's kind of like our wrap-up of the class on December 16th. Also part of the portfolio, we're going to be, we've divided you up with partner mentors and coaches. So if you see where your name is, those two people will be your mentor and coach throughout the class. And we will be there for you for any questions you have, any guidance you need as you're going through the class. I know that Sarah is providing classroom visits for the Striving Readers teachers. So if you are getting into the stipend ones, if you are getting a stipend, then Sarah will be visiting your classroom and having some one-on-one coaching with you. And time permitting, we might be able to do that as well. Depends on the need that you have. Okay. So did everybody find their name up there? Nope. Did I miss anybody? Okay. And part of that too is we'll be looking at your portfolio as you are adding to it, and if you're needing some feedback along the way, feel free to ask for that. But we'll kind of guide you through the whole class, so don't feel like you're just floundering about on your own. All right, so this is something that you will need to do, and we will probably do this, we could probably do it right now. If you can go ahead and open up a browser and go to edpuzzle.com. This is a really neat tool that we're creating our interactive webinars with. The most important thing is that you create a student account, not a teacher account. So create a student account for yourself once you get there. So when it asks you, once you've created your account and you want to join a class, so you want to find the button that says join a class. The code is VO27, and I think it's case sensitive, so capital QY, and then join the class. Let us know if you need anything. Yeah. They're not sitting out there. What's everybody doing on that? So if you were successful, it should pop up with becoming a 21st century educator is the class, and you'll see a bunch of lessons there. Now don't get freaked out by all those lessons. So once you've successfully logged in and joined the class, you can go ahead and just close that. Go ahead and close Edpuzzle once you've logged in. You're not picking 3 yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's like
So-
you will eventually, but we
You
don't want to
will.
go into that yet. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
You're ahead of the game.
we just need you to make sure you have your account and you know your password and everything, and then join the class, and then go ahead and close out Edpuzzle.
You know, that's hard to do, isn't it? It's like, log in and you want to explore
I know.
by nature.
Yeah, I want you to join it, but then once you've done that, you can just close it out.
What is it? 6? Oh, that's
B is the B, I think.
I know, the font.
I know.
It's hard to tell
Sorry.
whether that's a 2 or a Z. So that's a B.
BO27, capital Q, capital Y. Yeah. All right, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to move on. And then my lovely assistants will help anybody that's our little latecomers. All right.
Don't worry about the paper 3. We're going to clarify.
Yeah,
that.
sorry about that. All right, so moving on, Sarah's going to do a Canvas demo.
Alrighty, so how many of you guys got an email today from Canvas? Okay, awesome. If you didn't, then probably go back and double check your work email, and hopefully it's in there, and if it's not, I'll resend it.
So what was that? Because I got that email and I went and the link wasn't good or something, so I needed to Google, I don't know.
Okay, well,
I
we'll
was
double check.
successful, whatever it was.
We'll double check, like after I do a little drive-by, I'll do a little drive-by right now, and then we'll pause, and I'll give everybody a chance to check their email, or if you already got the invitation and you set up your own account, you can go in and just start exploring on your own. Once you guys have successfully set up your account, you'll be a student in our Canvas course. And I just want to introduce you to the navigation so that you're familiar with how Canvas works. Your main kind of area of where you're going to start off is going to be up here at the top under courses, and you should see 21 CLD become a 21st century practitioner. That's the name of our course.
Sarah, can we change it to student view? How do we do that?
I don't think I can change it from student view unless I'm,
Okay.
yeah, sorry. It looks exactly the same. That's really why there's not a student view. It looks exactly the same. Yeah. Now, the only thing that's different is I obviously have more things on the side, and you guys just won't see those, but that's really the only difference. All right, so once you have clicked on courses and you click on the name of the course, this is our main page, and there's a couple different ways that you can get to the content. These are some buttons that link to the content. And for Get Started, that's everything for tonight, okay? So everything dealing with our orientation session tonight, if you click on Get Started, that'll take you there. Module 1 is going to be like our first block, so our first face-to-face, that's Module 1, and then our second face-to-face is Module 2, and then our third and final is Module 3. But the nice thing about Canvas is that's not the only way that you, the only method that you can use for navigation. You can also use this little navigation bar on the side. So you've got, this is called your local navigation bar because it has to deal with whatever course you're in. So if you're ever lost or buried in Canvas, you can click on Home and it'll take you back to the home page. If you ever just want to go to the discussions, then there's a shortcut that'll allow you to go just into the discussion board. And then modules as well. You can go straight into your modules from there. So I'm going to go back home. And everything that we're really dealing with tonight has to do with our orientation. So I'm going to click on Get Started. And this is information that you guys can read through. I'm not going to read it to you word for word, but I will just give you a little quick overview of what each part of this is. When you get to the second page, this is probably an important page to spend a little time in. This is our course overview and syllabus. And this is the practitioner course, so we are taking a deeper dive into those 6 dimensions of 21st century learning that you all have exposure to because you've all been through that beginning explorer level. So that's our goal, is to dig deeper, but also weave in where the technology tools support each dimension. So the technology piece is going to be woven out throughout. A lot of this is stuff that Tara already went over, the whole format. But here's a nice table, I guess, that gives you our schedule, and this is nice to refer back to because it has all the dates of our face-to-faces and our webinars and the dates when you'll be doing your online work on your own. So this is a nice thing to review back to. Also in any face-to-face dates or webinar dates, I've put those in our calendar as well. And since once you're enrolled in the class, you'll be able to click on the calendar and you should see in green anytime we have a face-to-face or a webinar. So that's just, there's lots of dates to keep in mind on this course, so that's just one thing that can help you. Okay, so I'm going to actually go back. Just wanted to show you guys the calendar while we were talking about it. Okay, so there's the table. The grading policy, really everything, because this is a practitioner course, so we really want to see evidence that you're practicing what you're learning. So everything is going to be based on a performance portfolio, and we'll go into detail on that shortly. Okay, so that's basically your whole assessment will be based on building a professional portfolio that I think you'll use way beyond this class as well. We've had to create professional portfolios in our professional life, and even though I may have created one for a class, I've used it for job interviews, grant applications, all kinds of things. It's something that I think you'll be really proud of and you'll get a lot of mileage out of when we're done. So the main component is, of course, the portfolio. The second part, there is a rubric for the discussion forum, which you guys can look at that on your own time as well. And then again, we have some more dates listed. And this is just information about each of us and our background, if you're interested. Some information about our code of conduct and honor code. And just some more information if you ever want to refresh on how to navigate through Canvas, or refresher on how to submit an assignment, or how to post to the discussion board. There's screenshots on this page. We're actually going to participate in the discussion forum today just to kind of get you into Canvas and get a little bit of practice. I don't think you're really going to even have to submit anything in this class because you're building your portfolio, and I don't think we're asking them to submit it through Canvas. So I don't even think you'll have to do that. And really, that's the meat of our course information. When you guys get logged in, if you'll go to the acknowledgement page and then just click take the survey, and basically acknowledgement that you've kind of read through all of those different key parts of the course. At this point in time, what I would really like you guys to do is make sure that everybody can get logged in. And notice when I click next, it goes into that presentation. So when Tara said you didn't have to write everything down because all of that is right here, that's where you can find it. It's embedded in there. So I'm going to go really quick, and I'm going to just glance. So I can see that many of you have accepted and have logged in. If it says pending, raise your hand if your name says pending up here. Okay, and there, did you check your email and there wasn't one in there?
No, we just had it. I just didn't have time.
Oh, no problem. Then you can do it now.
And it might be in junk.
It could be in junk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's
Okay.
go ahead and check your
Yes,
email.
go ahead and check your email. And then if you need me to resend it, then just let me know and I'll resend it. But yeah, you weren't meant to do this ahead of time. If you did, that's awesome. But we had time built in for you guys to get enrolled. So
So we're going to create our own account? Go ahead and open up the email.
All right, so let's look. Also, I want to, your username right now is actually your email. So I'd like you to change that to your first and last name. Let's see. Up in the right-hand corner, you'll see this orange box, and you'll see your name up there. If you'll click on that, and then where it says display name, let's see. Edit settings, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, edit settings. Yeah, up at the top, and then, why is this not showing this for me?
On that right-hand side over here.
User set, oh, here we go, edit settings, sorry about that. So edit settings on that gray, bar on the right, and then change it where it says display name. Make sure it has your first and last name and not your email.
and then when you probably don't have a picture handy, but when you get home, if you click on where the picture should be,
See how the pencil comes up?
yeah, it'll let you upload. Or you guys could take a picture because these are Macs. They have built-in cameras.
Yeah, try that.
Take
Or
a
if
picture.
you have a cover shots photo that you'd like to put in.
I tried, and I don't have rights to access user accounts. So I wonder if your account does.
And then make sure you hit update settings at the bottom. You can also add in any other services that you'd like. So if you have a Twitter or a Skype name or LinkedIn, you can put those on there as well. But you don't have to. Okay, so what am I doing? Going into...
Go into here and then...
Here, let me pause this again. Whoops.
Okay, so under modules, when we get into the actual coursework, and let's say that we were looking at module 1, which is our next face-to-face, remember there's two ways you can get there from the module 1 on the front page, or on the side you can click on modules. And so our first face-to-face is going to be here. The question that Marcy had was, when we do the webinars, how are you going to get to the webinars? You'll probably get 2 notifications. You'll get one through Solutionware. We'll send out an email that says, here's the link to your webinar, and you can click on that link if you want. But I'm also going to put the links in here as well. So does that answer your question, Marcy? Is that what you were asking?
Yes, but there's one that said 4 to 5.
That would be the webinar.
Okay, so we need to make sure we're logged in at 4.
Probably about 10 minutes till, just to make sure you don't have any tech problems.
Okay.
But yeah, you can click on this link, or you'll get it in your email, and this is what it will look like. And it'll say join event now. And our password for all of our events is going to be camp21. And then you'll click join now. And really, WebEx is pretty user friendly. Hardly anybody ever has any issues, but you can do that from wherever you have internet access. And these are the ones that we prefer you to be live, but if something comes up, life happens, we will record them, and we'll, just shoot us an email and we'll make sure that you have the makeup stuff for it. And so that, and you can always use these breadcrumbs that appear at the top to help you kind of backtrack as well. So if I wanted to go back to module 1, I could use these little links at the top. They're called breadcrumbs. But for every face-to-face or every block of content, our first one will be focused on skilled communication and collaboration. Everything that we do that deals with that content and that face-to-face will appear under here. And then on 10/16, when we have our second face-to-face, we'll focus on knowledge construction and use of technology for learning. Everything will be there. And then when we get closer, I'll put the webinar link for that one. And then same thing with Mod 3. So really, you're mainly going to be in modules and discussions, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so it looks like everybody did a good job on the discussion, that there weren't any issues, it didn't look like. Just be aware if you're new to online learning, that if you want to respond to somebody, that you use the reply, and then that way it will be threaded underneath their main topic. So it looks like everybody did that already. And also be aware that you can attach things. So if you were referring to a resource or something, you could upload and attach documents. You can add links if you want. So if I put a website I wanted to share, you can click on that little chain and it'll let you type in the website, so you can hyperlink. There's all kinds of different things that you can add. You can upload or record media. So if you wanted to record your voice instead of typing, you could do that. So all these things that you can play around with, and if you want to play around with some of those, use this forum to do so. Right.
Also, it looks like they need to edit both the full name and the display name for it to show other than their email.
Okay, so make sure you guys go back then into your profile and then click Edit Settings. And are you saying edit both of these, display name and full name?
Just make sure both full name and display name.
Okay, and then just make sure you click Update Settings when you're done. And that's it for the Canvas demo.
Okay.
And then we'll work on.
I was able to get her
You
out,
did?
so, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you look on there, the little setting thing is like right in the crack of
Yeah.
where that is.
But it didn't have a password option for me when I clicked on that. Did it allow you to change her password or set a password?
Oh, I didn't try that one.
Oh, okay.
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 So, next we have Tina and Misha talking about the portfolio piece. And I'm just going to go ahead and open up. this slideshow. So this is the rubric. Try to get it so it's not full screen. All right. There we go. This is the rubric. Sorry, my mouse is going crazy here. Of the requirements, and Tina's going to talk to you about that.
First, we're going to have Sarah show you where the link is in Canvas to get to the information about your portfolio and to get to the rubric and what the requirements are.
Okay, so if you're back on home, and this stuff is all under the Getting Started, because it's under our orientation. So you could either go to modules and go to the orientation, or you could click on that Getting Started button. And actually, let's just click on modules so we don't have to go through that whole entire thing. And then when you click on that orientation link under the Getting Started, this is where I had them before, so hopefully it's on the next page. Did it get taken out today somewhere?
No, when you were going through it, it was right there.
They're on the overview page. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay, am I just on the wrong page?
Yeah, it's on the-
She'll just find it first, right?
I know.
You get a piece of candy.
Oh, it's on this page?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I can't remember where I put it. No, it's not on that page either.
Go
Yeah, I
next.
don't know.
Go next.
I thought it was in a different spot, but. Okay.
There.
All right, sorry. I'm going to show you where it's at. Not. Okay,
Is the
so.
portfolio link, is it ready to go?
Yeah, so here is, these links are live, and I'm going to pass it over to Gina now that I did a great job of confusing everybody on where it was.
It's also linked through on that orientation slideshow, so
Right.
you'll find it one way or another.
And you did say this links.
Well, that's to the rubric, yeah, and then your Livebinder example is linked under that.
Oh, okay, so this
Yeah.
this links to the slideshow.
Yeah, so see where it says Livebinder portfolio template, that's where yours is.
Okay. Okay. Whoop. All right, so the main assessment tool that we're going to be using, and a place that shows growth. Digital portfolios are amazing tools, wonderful to use in the classroom, and is our digital portfolio. And we have several elements that need to go into the digital portfolio. We're going to start off, and I'm just going to read these, and then we'll move on. But there's an About Me section, and Tara has created a nice, complete checklist here. And then you're going to have an initial reflection, which you probably should get done as soon as you can. And it's basically where you're at right now in starting this journey. And then each month you're going to, as you complete the webinars, you are going to be implementing the pieces from the webinar that you learned. And we have the assignments for each of the webinars there. And then you're going to go to your portfolio, and under each month you'll put what you did. You'll show artifacts, or you will show evidence of what you learned, and then you'll have a reflection piece. And so you can see that we have one of those for each month. We have September, and then we have October, and then November. And then we're going to end our portfolio with a final reflection, and there's prompts under the reflection on both the initial and the final. And then our big activity is you're going to put it all together. So, and you're going to do that with presentation. Now, the thing with the digital portfolio is and I'll show you in just a second, but we have 2 templates that we have created for you that you can use. You do not have to use those. If you have something that works better for you than a Google site or a Livebinder, which is where we created the templates, you can go ahead and use those. And did we say they needed to just let us know, or?
Yeah, just let us know. So if you already have like your own classroom website or something that you use, we don't want you to have another place. So if you currently have a teacher website or classroom website, you just want to make your portfolio an offshoot of that, that's fine. Just let us know what it is.
just as long as we have access to it and can take a look at it. Does anybody in here have a digital portfolio? Anybody use digital portfolios in their classroom? Okay. One thing that's really neat about a digital portfolio, especially with our evaluation system that we have with the MyPGS, is digital portfolios are really great in showing personal growth. And in fact, I highly encourage you, you can easily use this practitioner badge class as part of that MyPGS. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? Why do double the work? And as Sarah was saying, she has a professional portfolio. I do as well. And it's really neat because it does, over the period of years, you can see how much that you've grown. And it's a good place to put everything. And then plus it's fluid, so you can constantly change it. So I'm going to show you our rubric here. And I'm going to read every single one of these. No, just kidding. So basically what you're going to be assessed on is your selection of artifacts. And an artifact can be anything. Like an example of an artifact would be a video maybe, or student images, or a document, a screencast. I mean, it's kind of like anything goes type thing could be artifacts. So selection of artifacts. You're going to be graded on your monthly reflections. Use of multimedia. The navigation of the links, you know, is it fluid? Is it smooth? Are links broken, or is it choppy? How easy is it for us to get around your portfolio? And the layout and readability. There's always, no matter what you do, there's always a design component to things. And so, you know, is the background color look good? Is it easy to read, easy to look at? You know, how was your design aspect to it?
Question, how viewable will the portfolio be? So if we're using images of students, and they've signed the general school release at the beginning of the year, is that enough? Okay, so there needs to be enough. Yeah. And that's in there too.
Yeah, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, this is yours.
Why don't you go to your Livebinder?
I thought that I had. Okay, there we go. All right, so this right here is the Livebinder template. And is anybody familiar with a Livebinder? Okay, so a Livebinder, and you can ask anybody, I'm probably obsessed with Livebinders. I use Livebinders in my classroom for years. I use Livebinder for everything. I am the Livebinder queen in Washoe County School District. That's just how it is. I'm waiting. So anyway, a Livebinder is just that. It is literally a binder that is digital online. And with the one thing that's cool with the Livebinders is you can upload anything to it. I suggest though that you probably, instead of uploading things, you just stick with links because you don't want to eat up your free space. It is a free account up to so much space. And so here's the template. And if you click on the tab right here, I go through the directions on exactly what you need to do to get this template into your account. And I also embedded a little video of getting started with Livebinders. And then here's where all your directions would be, what you need to do for the About Me. Obviously, you need to probably have your name in there. That's kind of important. And then the questions for your initial reflection. What is expected for evidence of work here? And then that's where we have the little disclaimer that if you are going to put student images or anything, even student work, and it is going to be online, you need to make sure that you have those release forms from the student's parent. And then the reflection, directions for your final journey, and then directions for putting it all together. And then the way that the Livebinder is set up is these are all going to be blank. And so this right here is your template. And this is where you will add your reflections and your evidence is under these tabs here that are blank. So if you haven't used Livebinder, I really recommend giving it a shot.
So Tina, just for clarification, how would they add something? And then I'm thinking too, how would they make it public for everyone to view?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I mean, because I have a tutorial here in here,
Okay.
right here. And I mean, really what we'd have to do is I would have to teach Livebinders right now how to use it. So you would basically sign up for a free account right here, and then that gives you, you know, your account with the binders, and then you would go up here, and there's a place where you can copy the binder into your account.
So we'll have some time. We'll
Right.
get through the orientation, all our slides for the orientation, and we're going to have time actually for you to dig in a little bit before you leave tonight. So if you
Right.
are interested in the Livebinder piece, you don't have to make that decision tonight. If you want to think about it and look at your options, that's fine.
And one thing with Livebinders is they have tons and tons. They have tons of support. They have a really good help menu. They have video tutorials for everything. And you know, and once you get down how to add things to it, how to add a tab or whatever, it's really an amazing tool. And so don't let just the newness of it, if you have not used Livebinders, intimidate you. I really encourage you to give it a shot. I guarantee once you use it, you're gonna love it. Okay, so our Google site.
How many of you are Google users already have a Google account, like a Gmail or use Google Docs or YouTube account? Okay, so a lot, but not everyone. This is just another option for your template. So you can choose Livebinders, you could choose a Google site, or as Tara suggested or offered, that if you have another one that you think would be a perfect fit, then you can use that as an alternative as well. Just let us know. So if you click on that link, it will take you to this template. So I'll kind of talk you through the template, and then I'll show you how easy it is to actually use the template if that's the choice that you'd like to make. So here on the Home tab, like Tina, I'm asking you to do the same things, just in a different, just looks different. Also have access to tutorials. Once you go in and add, then you can delete these directions from the site. So as you scroll down just on the home page, I have a section where you can blog throughout your experience, and then also a section where you could create a slideshow of photographs of things that are happening in your classroom. Okay. There's the About Me section. So just like Tina's, okay, just looks different. Here's where you can input a photo or avatar of yourself. There's a professional section and a personal section, so that we can help to get to know you better.
Can you guys, is there any compare or contrast between those two?
I think it really comes down to personal preference of what you're drawn to. I think that they're both relatively user-friendly. And feel free to get a hold of myself or Tina if you need support with your portfolio, whether it be a Google site or a Livebinder. My journey, I put all on one page on the site. So your initial reflection, and then your final reflection.
So yeah, if you guys haven't identified something for your professional growth plan, it would be awesome to use this. Then you're killing two birds
Yeah.
with one stone.
And you already have your artifact.
Yeah.
Yep. So as Tina talked about in the Livebinder, so for the month of September, it's collaboration and skilled communication. So there's a reflection piece after you've watched the webinar, you've explored with the different tools, and then you've applied something in your classroom. This is your reflection piece. And then on this side would be what artifacts or evidence do you have to share. And so that's the same for each of the months.
And then finally, the last tab is putting it all together. And this it would be the page where you'd embed or you'd link to your presentation. So if I click on use the template, it should ask you to sign into your Google account. So I might just, okay. And it's going to take you to this page, and it's already going to have highlighted Practitioner Badge Portfolio Template. So that's what you would choose. And you'd name your site. So I might say, I'll make Terrace, ha 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 ha.
And that's not editable, right, after the fact?
No, the name is, not the URL, yeah.
Okay, so you can change the name, but not the URL.
Okay, that's okay. I'll change it. You don't need to change the theme or more options. You could just go ahead and put in the code. And it should create the site for you at lightning speed. And so now notice it has Tara's name. It no longer says use this template at the top. So what you've done is you've taken that template and personalized it to you. Now it's yours. So along the top, do you see how you have these different icons? So if I want to edit this page, I just click on the edit. And I get a lot of the same, it looks a lot like Word or any other HTML editing where I can pick my font size, I can pick my color, I can insert pictures. So along up here, I can insert images, I can insert links. So I have I can insert text box, I can embed a Google presentation. So from the insert menu, I can bring in a lot of the artifacts that I want to bring in. And I can easily delete now. Once I've looked at all this or I've created this page and I no longer need these step-by-step, I can delete. Which one's the delete button, Tara? She has stickers over all of her buttons. What else is cool, you guys, because we're going to meet each month face-to-face, if you're stuck on something on your portfolio and need some technical help, we'll be available face-to-face. So we're confident that you are all go-getters and self-starters and self-directed learners. Am I right in saying that? Because those are the kind of people that take these classes, right? So we're confident that you will play around and not be scared to, mess anything up. And from in between each of the face-to-face classes, have some questions. Of course, you can always email us if you do have a question about something, or put in a discussion forum. Say, hey, I'm stuck on this, and because we are a learning community, we know that if you know the answer to someone's question, you'll go ahead and answer it, and not wait for one of the four of us to do it. And of course, if nobody knows the answer but one of the four of us, we will jump in. So don't feel like if you're not catching on right now, that was it. You're not going to get any more help.
Well, I was just going to ask, since I'm probably going to commit some time to choosing one of these or the other, if I already have a lot of Google Docs, am I going to want to go with the Google version because I'm not going to log in to access them?
Yeah.
If I'm already a pretty solid Google user, why would I want to choose the Livebinder?
Don't ask her, because she's going to tell you Livebinders.
We want to get out of here tonight, so let me tell you one thing about the Livebinders.
And that is, it's just as easy. You just go to livebinder.com, you create a free account, you go to our template, and up on the top, you just copy the binder to your shelf, and then it becomes your binder. And it's the same thing, and you can, do what you want on it. And they have, different templates you can use where you can have, you can access a Word template, you can put text in it, you can put links in it, you can embed. I mean, pretty much anything you could do with a Google site, you could do with a Livebinder. It just, the format looks different. It's a binder, is what it is. So you can imagine a binder here in front of you, and I go to my tab, and I have subtabs. And in fact, it's kind of neat because they actually added a ubiquitous subtab under a subtab now. So it's just something new, something different.
Do you know what the storage capacity comparison is between the two? On a freebie, I can't remember what Google requires.
You will not surpass your storage capacity with the Livebinder. For example, on our account, we have probably well over 60 or 70 binders, and we aren't even close to. Yeah, and that's why most of the. Huh? No, we did, but we really didn't need to. But with the Livebinder, because most of the stuff you're going to put in there are going to be links anyway. It's not necessarily like it'll be a link to a PDF or you'll embed, from a YouTube video or whatever. It's really not going to take up the storage. If you start uploading a whole bunch of video, directly uploading it into it, then that's what takes all the storage.
But to answer your question, if you're a heavy Google Docs user and you love it, a Google site might be a better option for you because everything you're doing is already living in Google, so it's just easier. My preference is for a Google site, but that's me. So, yeah.
But if you are a real maverick, you want to try to
I told you she works for Livebinder.
So, if I have to link to my Google Doc and then log into my Google Docs every time I want to access Livebinder, that sounds daunting. But if it's a matter of the docs don't really take up very much space, and so I can just load it in there and access them, then that doesn't sound daunting.
And one of the cool things too, I will say about Livebinder is that if you are using Livebinders for just in your classroom for resources for your students, you can have them link to the binder, and you can continually add things to the binder, and they'll always have that one link will always work for that updated binder.
And it's really the same.
Right.
Because Google
Right.
sites are also
Yeah, they won't have to sign in.
You're like, let's say you have a Google document.
Yeah.
It teaches us a huge
A
amount.
Google
That
site,
Google
they don't have to
document is
sign
also
in.
linked within your site.
It depends
Or
on the
embedded.
setting.
And it's the same with the Livebinder. Same, you would do the same thing. You're still going to have the link where it says that, that document or whatever it is. It's just in a different platform.
I would check out both and then think of not only the purpose for your portfolio, but think of an application outside of portfolio. Which one might you use more in the classroom? If you want to build a site for resources for students, then maybe Livebinder. If you wanted to build a class website that it has lots of stuff, then maybe Google Site. So think of other applications, and that way too you might get familiar. I'm going to use this tool for my portfolio, but then I can see I really want to use this tool for this as well. I don't want to spend too much time on the technical part because we don't know what way you're going to go, and I don't want to waste anybody's time. We just want to expose you to the two different possibilities and let you play and kind of ponder about what direction you might take, as well as you might come up with a direction that you'd prefer based on other experiences that you've had with tools.
And also, the technical aspect, I mean, having someone tell you how to do something, click here, do this, that, really, we all know with any kind of something new, you gotta just go do it. Just gotta hack through it, chop through it, and then make it your own.
Other questions that you guys have? Okay. Did I exit you out of the
Go to the
here?
Okay, so that's about it. Think about it. So every section or every module, you're going to have a webinar first. We prefer you to do it live. If something happens where you can't be on live, and please something comes up and I can't be on, let us know so we don't, not to expect you to pop in. But
Tara,
we'll,
can I interject?
Yeah.
It's nice for you all to be there live because there is a chat area, so you can have an ongoing discussion while the webinar is going and be asking questions, so it's more interactive. So it's nice if you can be there live.
and what we will do with the recording of the webinar is we'll use Edpuzzle. So if you do end up missing the live webinar, it'll be an Edpuzzle, and you'll have some additional things to do while you're watching it, just so that accountability piece is there for in-service, so they know that everybody participated in that piece of it. Then we'll meet face-to-face. So next week is our webinar Tuesday. Face-to-face is Thursday in this room. Both of them starting at 4, but the face-to-face is the 4 to 6. And then you'll have between the 18th and, was it October 2nd? Yeah, between September 18th and October 2nd to get all of those interactive webinars done, apply it in your classroom, get your artifact, put that in your portfolio. So I'm just trying to talk you through the workflow. Let me show you. We do have Module 1 built out a little bit, but I just want to show you kind of the structure. Okay, so in here will be the link to the recording of the webinar and probably the Edpuzzle version of it. Here's just the slideshow. Then we'll be face-to-face. So we'll start out with questions from the webinar. We'll do a sorting activity of those 2 different dimensions. The shred session is where we'll share, each of us will share the workshops that we all have created, and you'll pick 3. So each month you'll pick 3 from the list that's on the side here. And every month you can pick one of the topics, so the content I mean. So if you really want to do the reading one, but you also want to do 2 of the other ones at the top, that's fine. We will always offer those content ones. So every month you can pick from the content. But we also want you to make sure you're picking some of these other ones as well. And now some of you overachievers might be saying, well, I want to do all of them. Perfect, that's fine. But really we're just requiring 3 each month. Okay, so each month you'll see this list. And at the face-to-face we will do our shred session. So we'll kind of do like a really fast kind of show you the slideshow and tell you a little bit about what that workshop entails. And then you'll have a link to each of these links to the Edpuzzle lesson. So if you just click on, like, say you want to do blogs, yours will look different. So it'll bring you to, oh, it's not going to show me. Let me show as a student. Okay, so it'll bring you to the Edpuzzle lesson directly. So you don't need to go logging into Edpuzzle separately. You can just go straight through from Canvas. So you watch the webinar. So it's just doing this because I'm the teacher in the class. So let's see, which one was it? Doesn't matter. Anyone, it'll pop up, and you see all these little green markers here? This is where the video itself will stop, and it will ask you a question or redirect you to look at a video on YouTube or something else. That's how we made them interactive. This is a really cool tool that Tina found for us last year, this Edpuzzle. It's amazing.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free. You can import videos from anywhere. and create an interactive lesson with it. So that hopefully is a tool you will enjoy being a student experiencing it, but then as a teacher it might be something you want to try as well. And then for each workshop, and we're going to go over this again next week, but for each workshop, and we don't have it all in here yet, but we will by next week, just some ideas for how should you apply this in your room. So if you're looking at like the student presentation tools, there's two options there for, and I have to link it to the other doc. I just realized it's the old doc.
Hey, I put mine in.
Yeah, we changed it to a doc earlier from a spreadsheet. I got to change the link. Anyway, but it gives you options for, here's an idea of how to apply this. So presentation tools, that's one of mine that I did. So the ones we're looking at are Prezi, Globster, Haiku Deck, which is on the iPad. Well, it's also on the web too. And then Google Slides. So you experience those 4 tools, and so then the ideas for implementing it are to use one of those tools, create a presentation that they use with your students, whether in instruction or something else, or have students use the tool and create something, a project for a class, and then you share things that they've created. So there's options for each one, and then the artifact then would be links to that project. So that's what would go in your portfolio. So your workflow is webinar, come to the face-to-face, and then do the online work. Now the online work includes 3 workshops, right? You're choosing 3 each month. And for each one, it's do the ed puzzle, explore the resources, participate in the discussion forum, and then put your artifact from your classroom application. So questions on that? And so you do that 3 times. So let's say you want to do blogs and Google Docs and the math one. So for each one of those, you watch the webinar, and they're roughly an hour. The webinar, the Ed Puzzle webinar, they're roughly an hour. Some a little bit less, some a little bit more. And again, the time that you take in between, you know how I showed you it stops periodically. That's all based on how long you want to stop and explore the other link that it takes you to. So it could be a little more than an hour. Try not to get too bogged down in that piece, because you're going to want time also to explore the resources that we share, to participate in the discussion, and then to actually apply it. So you don't put off the online stuff to the last few days of that block of time, because you're going to get really overwhelmed and panicked, and you're not going to have enough time to actually implement one of the tools in your class. So try to get in there at the beginning of the block, so within a day or so after the face-to-face, jump in and watch the lesson and look at the resources, and then say, okay, what am I going to do? Which one am I going to use in my class? And it gives you enough breathing room to kind of get that going. Okay? Those of you that are new to online courses, you really do need to block out time in your schedule. Okay? So get your planner, or use something on your phone. Block out chunks of time to devote to the online piece of the class. Because if you don't, days just keep going by, and then you're like, oh gosh, we have class next week, and I haven't done anything yet. So if you're running into some timing issues, let us know. Especially those of you that you're new to online.
So building our site using your template, that's not one of the assignments as an assignment, but it's just something we need to do through the course of.
Yeah, it's a requirement of the course, and the expectation is that you're going to start it fairly soon and work on it through the entire course. Yeah. And it's a work in progress. It'll always be a work in progress, but part of the pieces that we want to have in place by the presentation day on December 16th, you should have a good chunk
summarize again, so for each of the 3 workshops, you said that you're going to watch a 1-hour webinar, and then you may want to divert yourself on those green question stop marks. And then what are the other 2 things? You do the puzzle and the participate.
So the webinar is the lesson, the Ed Puzzle lesson. We've recorded ourselves.
The webinar is the puzzle.
It's the Ed Puzzle. So you do the Ed Puzzle. You explore resources. You pick something from that to implement in your class.
Pick one of those resources.
Right.
that you
Pick,
explore.
some of them are tools, like student presentation tools is a good example. Those are actual tools. Some of the things down the road that you might experience will be concepts, like the flipped classroom is one of those. There are some tools that are in there, but the concept of flipped classroom could have several things that you're picking from.
Is there a social participation element of
There's a
that?
discussion forum.
And also,
Yes.
you should respond on the discussion.
Yes.
On each one of them have a
And we have oh yeah, there's one for each month. So there's one for September, one for October, one for November.
And you're supposed to have how many artifacts by October 2nd?
So you'll have at least one artifact, that's the bare minimum, one artifact per workshop. So 3 each month. And you can see on the rubric, if you want to go back and look at the rubric, all of the other pieces that are expected in that portfolio. Questions?
4 months, September, October, November, December. 12 artifacts.
No, December is kind of like just wrapping up the portfolio and then presenting.
And is, so do we
So
have,
September, October, November are the 3 content months.
we'll have 3 for this month.
So you'll have 9 artifacts.
And there'll always be artifacts out of that.
Yeah, we will always, it'll look like, it might be a little different. We're playing around a little bit with the formatting on these pages just to make it as easy as possible for you to find what you need and have the directions. But yeah, everything, and if something is not clear, please ask questions, or please, say, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do at this part, okay?
Every month there'll be a different list though, right?
Yes.
And so we are.
Every month you'll have a different list at the top, at the bottom where it says all modules. You'll always have the choice to do those content ones.
So you could do 3 all in content.
You could, but you might be missing out on some other tools as well. So
Mix and match.
I know for elementary it's hard to pick because you teach everything, right?
The content ones don't change from month to month either. So it's the same
Oh, we won't.
5.
Right.
Yeah, so there's one math one, one reading, one writing that targets K-12.
Yeah, you'll have in the tools exploration of those, you will have grade level specific tools that are listed, strategies.
So on this first one, if I was super intrigued by blogging and Edmodo and Google Docs, and then I wanted to do the math one, I would do the blogging, the Edmodo, and the Google Docs, and then maybe do math next month. Because I know that that's always going to be a choice throughout the 3 months.
Any other questions?
No repeats on the top.
No repeats on the top, but what is good though, Mary, is that they're all an Ed Puzzle. So if you, are bored one weekend and would like to peruse other ones, you can. And also we will have, we have the recordings of those webinars without the Ed Puzzle lesson available. So if you wanted to just watch it and not really do, like, you want to put it on and just kind of, soak it in while you're washing dishes or whatever, you can do that without having to answer questions and things like that. So.
And they're all on our YouTube channel. So you'll always be able to go back and access them.
Anything else, ladies?
I think earlier, the question was asked, is the acceptable use policy that parents sign enough for you to post initial form.
Can we interject really quick?
I mean, it only took 2 weeks to look at it, and we both have masters degrees in technology, but,
So I logged in, I remembered when I registered my kids on Infinite Campus, I had to say that I agreed to everything on the forms that were in the parent handbook. So again, after 20 minutes, we located the parent handbook. And it does say under their media appearances, I give permission for my son or daughter's school to record, film, photograph, interview, and or publicly exhibit, distribute, or publish my son or daughter's name, appearance, and spoken words during the blah, blah, blah school year, whether undertaken by school or district staff, students, or the media. This includes not limited to the yearbook and class composite picture. I agree that the school may use or allow others to use those works without limitation or compensation.
That's just photos.
Student work.
That's
Work is
No, that's just their image, that's their photo, like a school picture or something.
Published appearance or spoken words. I've always been told that student work can go online as long as their full first and last name was not on there. And that
It says
That's
those
what I think.
works
Yeah.
without limitation or compensation.
If you're nervous about it, I would give her permission. I would just say, you know, this is what I'm doing, this is where their work might appear. If you don't want your child's work in my portfolio, let me know.
We can put some samples of what some other teachers have used, and you can morph it to your needs. I know for me, when I was in the classroom, I always wanted to be sure, so I always had something that I could set on the computer and ask them for permission to post student work online.
It's part of my parent letter, I just didn't know if we needed to be specific to.
As long as you, I mean, if it's open enough to include that student work's gonna be online, or students are gonna, it depends on what tool you pick too. If you picked a tool like a blog where students were creating an account too, then that needs to be in it as well. That we're gonna be using this tool and creating an account.
But if you're using something like Edgelobs, which is only accessible to the classroom,
Right.
and only accessible to the teacher, that would just
But if you're sharing a post or something that they've done, like if you take a screenshot of something
Or if they're public.
yeah.
anything's public.
You will also probably get really sick of seeing our little disclaimer on all of our webinars, because we have a slide at the end of all of our webinars that have that disclaimer that you need to be aware of student privacy, data, and all those laws that govern what can and cannot be published about students. And each tool they use has a different policy, so always check the terms of service. And really just letting parents know, hey, we're using Edmodo, or we're using this or that, and make sure you just have that another layer of protection for yourself. Make sure your administrators are aware. And this is, this is just going to become more commonplace anyway, as as we move more into technology in the classroom. So this really shouldn't be like a shocking surprise to any parents, but there still are that don't want anything to do with internet, which I can kind of understand, but not really. All right, so any other questions? All right, so will you be too terribly heartbroken if we let you go early? All right, I didn't think so. If you need some help and you want to stay, we'll stay. That's fine. If you need a little more guidance on the website, make sure you log out of everything, especially if you've logged into Google.
You gotta remove your account.
Remove your account. Yes. And thank you. We will see you Tuesday.
Well, you'll hear them Tuesday.
Oh, you'll hear us Tuesday. We'll see you next Thursday.
They'll send us a link, right?
Yes, you'll get that very soon.